Zoe. So we haven't been making videos for a while, and I thought I'd start one up. I just started my spring term, and so my stress levels aren't too high, so it makes it pretty easy. So I thought, why not do something for Sassy Saturday? However, I've noticed that these videos haven't been pretty sassy, just kind of like random, which is fine. I just thought that I would take advantage of that and be completely silly. And by silly, I mean serious about a silly topic. Now, before we get there, I have to actually be serious and give some like basic background stuff about genetics because as far as I know, you haven't taken a bio class since freshman year of high school. That's really long ago. So I want to help you get the punchline without actually saying the punchline because that just makes people feel smarter, right? So in all of our cells, we have DNA, obviously, and half of our DNA comes from mom, and half of our DNA comes from dad. And these different copies of our genes are called alleles. And when these alleles are read, they express certain genes. And some of these genes will be dominant, which we represent with a capital letter. And some of these genes are recessive, represented by the lowercase. So if a gene is dominant, then no matter what kind of combination you have of your DNA given from your parents, you are going to express the dominant gene. In order to express the recessive gene, you need to have two copies because recessive genes are kind of pushovers and they can't really talk back to the dominant ones. However, there are some instances where you can have this, what's called a genotype, and you don't necessarily express the dominant allele. And these are called, depending on how it's expressed, it could either be an instance of codominance or incomplete dominance. Okay, so first we're going to talk about codominance. When you have an organism that's expressing codominance, it means that they have two dominant alleles that are different from each other but are working together. Normally when you see examples of this, people are usually talking about blood types, but because you like cats, I'm going to talk about tortoiseshell cats. And in case you're wondering, I got this all off of a page from Berkeley College that's like specifically dedicated toward cat genetics. I'm putting the link in the description. I thought it was kind of cool. So here's our tortoiseshell cat. Doo-doo-doo. Looks like she's going this way. And I say she because these cats that are showing these unique patches are usually female. Get her orange in there. And the reason that they're usually female is because the gene needed to express coat color is on their X chromosome. So this is a male. Well, these two are males. They got an X from their dad and an X from they got an X from their mom and a Y from their dad. So now this male cat is going to be black because all he has is a black gene. And this male is going to be orange because all he has is an orange gene. Well, females as you know, have 2 X chromosomes. So we have an orange female and a black female. Now, what happens when we have a female that has these 2 genes? Well, what happens is you can't have both the genes working together because that's just too much information for the cell to process. And so when the cell is developing, one of the genes will be turned off. So because the orange was turned off in this one, that cell is going to be black, whereas this one's going to be orange. And this happens individually and independently in each of these cells. So here we have orange cells, and then here we have black cells. And then
now when we have incomplete dominance, you don't have the same thing as codominance, obviously, that's why they're called different things. So instead of having patches of one trait and the other, you actually have a combination of the 2 traits. So here we have a dominant, where's my finger? Dominant red plant and a dominant white plant. And when they have offspring together, their offspring will be a combination of the red and the white, which is, ta-da! But plants are boring, so let's talk about other places where we can see incomplete dominance, which happens to be our issue today. Incomplete dominance can sometimes be seen in ducks. No, not those ducks, but they are cute. Oh, look at you, you're so cute. Hello, ducklings. Oh, it's that time. Sorry, I'll go. Swim, ducklings, swim. Turtles! Hi, turtles! So, fun fact about these turtles. These are actually the species of turtles that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were. You can be ninjas.
no, I want to talk about these ducks. Now, you might be wondering why I want to talk about statues in front of the art museum campus, or at least the statues that were in front of the art museum on campus. So yeah, this is kind of awkward because the ducks are actually gone, so haha. Well, my question is, why am I the only one who has noticed this issue? Okay, so we have Daddy Duck with his nice blue feathers. Now, Daddy Duck is blue, so we know that he has 2 blue alleles, meaning that all of his kids will have at least 1 blue allele. Now, we also have Mommy Duck who's orange, so we know she has a red allele and a yellow allele. So Mommy and Daddy had a baby who is purple. This makes sense. Blue from Dad plus red from Mom. Now, what's the big deal? But when the ducks were here, Daddy Duck was over there, Mama Duck was over there, and Baby Duck was over here. However, what makes this an actual scandal is the fact that this family had more than 1 baby duck, which is all the way over there. In this pond, right there. So we see the problem here is that Baby Duck is yellow. It might not be a big deal because Mommy Duck can give her baby a yellow allele. However, Daddy Duck can only give a blue allele. So Baby Duck should be green. Why is Baby Duck over in the other pond? Maybe we don't know the whole story. I mean, Baby Duck might not be being shunned like I originally thought. He could be from a previous marriage, he could be adopted. Maybe he's just like in timeout right now. What's the fun in thinking that? And that's why biology students shouldn't go to art museums, because we read way too far into things.